Hi everyone, I'm Rosie and this is Flying Flusky.
And we can you and me together. And we can you and me forever.
If you're new here, I'm Rosie. I'm one half of travel couple Flying Flusky and I'm on a Mounjaro journey. For anyone that's been here before, welcome back. It's so good to have you. And for anyone that's new, as I said, I'm Rosie and I'm currently on Mounjaro. This is my 4-week update or my 1 month update, and I will be making videos every 2 weeks or so, unless the people demand more. No one's demanded anything. If you're wondering what Mounjaro is, it is a GLP-1 agonist. I still don't really know what that means. But I have been listening to Jack Mosley's book called Food Noise. Jack Mosley is the son of Dr. Robert Mosley, who sadly passed away, well, last year. But it's all about GLP-1s, their pluses, their minuses, and what you should be eating when you're taking them. It's really interesting. I found out all kinds of bits and bobs about how it's actually been shown to help with chronic inflammation, heart disease. Even when the people aren't losing weight on the drug, it lowers your risk of heart disease and stroke by 20%. Like, that's bonkers. That's so cool. Obviously, it's been a diabetic drug for ages. Fatty liver disease, which apparently lots of people don't know they have. So who knows? I might be solving 2 problems here. And the maddest one, I think, is addiction. So people have found that they've given up other things: smoking, vaping, gambling, drinking. I've still been drinking like an irresponsible person. In the US, you're going to know Mounjaro as Zepbound when it's used for weight loss. Also as its non-branded chemical name, tirzepatide. Is that a chemical name? Drug name, I don't know. The other GLP one that's really popular is Ozempic / Wegovy / semaglutide. There are other ones, other tides coming out, but you know what? I don't know anything about those, so I'm going to leave those be. Mounjaro works by slowing your gastric emptying, promoting feelings of fullness. Kind of works on the reward center of your brain as well, so that you're not looking for little hits of dopamine from food. And the gut hormone that it mimics also helps regulate blood sugar. All in all, good stuff, although that is how it's been for me. So speaking of, let's look at if I've had any side effects. In general, I think I'm getting off quite lightly in terms of side effects, but I am aware that I've only been on 2.5, which is the starter dose, so I'm still open to experiencing all kinds of weird and wonderful things. The things that I have mainly felt are, I'm sure you can tell, tiredness. So there's something going on. I wake up between 5 and 6 o'clock every single morning, even though I have been to bed 5 or 6 hours, or sometimes 4 hours before that. So I am properly exhausted. I can't get back to sleep. I don't know if it's because I'm in a calorie deficit and my body's going, wake up and find food, or if it's the earlier mornings because summer's coming. Either way, it doesn't feel great. And that kind of leads me into the other thing. So I started taking a compounded magnesium. It had 7 different kinds of magnesium. 1 to help with sleep, 5 to do something else, and the other one helps with any constipation. I hadn't actually experienced any constipation, but I thought, best to be ready. I had a couple of bouts of diarrhea. I thought that was the Mounjaro until I forgot to take my magnesium pill 2 days in a row because I am bad at daily medication. And then I took it again and it happened again. And my brain went, oh, that magnesium is trying to fix a problem that I don't have. So I've had to stop that. And I'm happy, hopefully, that it was those pills and not the Mounjaro that did it, because that's the only times it's happened. I think that's it for side effects. The dry mouth seems to be getting better. So my body's obviously just kind of adjusted to that one. I get tiny, mild, fleeting headaches on the day I jab, but it's like 10 seconds and it's gone. So I kind of don't count that at all. And no more hiccups. That was just I don't know, a weird coincidence. I haven't injected in my thigh since then because it was a lot more uncomfortable and I felt so gross in Glasgow. So I'm thinking maybe at some point I will experiment and try my thigh again and see if it gives me hiccups again. But for now, I'm going to stick with my more mellow results from the tummy. Week 3, I was just doing, well, the last couple of weeks I've done quite a few extra shifts at work and some overtime, partly to cover for swaps for holidays and partly to pay for the Mounjaro. So I've mostly just been busy having some breakfast before I leave and then taking my dinner to work. I suppose the only thing I have to report really is that when you're only eating one like big meal in your day, as in like your main meal, if it's reheated and a bit rubbish, that's quite disappointing. So I've been looking forward to the things I have to eat, and then if they're not as like flavorful or interesting as my brain thinks they're going to be, it's not like I'm going to search out for more food because obviously by that point I'm full, but it's a little sad. I still love food. Then week 4 has been much of the same, just lots of extra work and cooking my gusto meals and reheating them there. I did have one really nice katsu chicken like burrito wrap thing. That was excellent. I was a little concerned because I was coating the chicken in breadcrumbs and then frying it. Obviously not like deep frying it, but frying it. I was a little worried that that was going to mess with my tummy a bit, but actually I was absolutely fine. And I was perfectly stuffed at the end of that one. One thing I have noticed is I used to drink Diet Coke like 1 or 2, 3 a day sometimes if I was at home. And I'm only having like one every 4 days. And I think it's a combo of the bubbles just being a bit too intense for my tummy now. I have to kind of let it de-sparkle a little. And also aspartame just seems, I think it's aspartame, isn't it? Seems so much sweeter than it used to. And I don't know if it's this that's changing my taste buds or if it's just that I'm not having it as often. I haven't really had anything else that's like hyper sweet recently. Although saying that, I did buy some liquid IV. Okay, so I'm slightly conditioned by years of podcasts advertising it to me. And then I saw it on the shelf and I was like, well, I need electrolytes, so let's grab some of that. I put in one of the strawberry sachets into my big water bottle, like this, like a litre water bottle. And it's only meant to be in 500 ml. So I was thinking, okay, well, it'll just give a little something to my water. Dear goodness, it's sweet. How on earth people drink that, I don't know. I was like, I'm just going to have to divide this up over all the water in my day if I want to drink it because, yeah, so intense. I wonder, my mum has no sweet tooth. I wonder if this is how she feels about everything. This is why she eats panettone. I get it, Mum, I get it. Over those 2 weeks, I had 2 social engagements outside of the house. The first was a hen do. The hen do was actually the first concession I've made, really, on the medication. We were meant to be going to a really fancy steakhouse as the kind of the start of the night. And it was only a set menu. And it was like £65 a person. And I was thinking, I can't eat that much food. It really feels like a waste of money to go and spend £65 on like a small plate of food, not being able to eat all the courses and everything. And I didn't really know everyone that was going. So I didn't want to then have to explain to everyone why I wasn't eating much or anything. So I thought, okay, I'll skip the meal, I'll feed myself at home, and then we will go for our drag cabaret all together. And it was really good fun. I think I had 5 drinks over the course of the evening. Again, absolutely fine, didn't hit me weirdly. It was just normal. But that was sparkling rosé and a seltzer, so none of it was super sugary, and I think that's probably the way I have to go. Make sure I'm not having like several sugar bombs. Maybe one if it's a nice cocktail. But I'm very aware that at any point my body could start rejecting alcohol because I see that everywhere that people can't drink. So maybe when I titrate up, that will be the end of the boozy evenings. The other trip out was to meet my sister-in-law and my little squishy new nephew, and we went to Nando's. Popeyes was suggested, but I've heard that deep fried food goes really badly on Mounjaro, so I was like, there's got to be a better solution, and so we went to Nando's. So Nando's is a grilled chicken restaurant, just in case you don't know. And I wasn't super hungry, so I had the olives and 3 wings. I mean, it's pretty much lean protein with stuff on and olives with some oil and garlic. And it was all absolutely fine and delicious. And I bumped my spice up level up 1 on the chicken wings so that they felt even more exciting, I guess. And it was perfect, easy. I didn't really get any questions over the last 2 weeks, but I did get a few comments that were really helpful. Angie from Down Under recommended adding collagen to your coffee along with cream. I don't really have creamy coffee, so I don't know how it would go in cold brew, but I'm willing to try that out. I, at the moment, have I can never say this word, effervescent collagen, biotin, and vitamin C fizzy tablets that I'm drinking in water. They have quite a strong, not strong flavour, quite a distinct flavour. It's nice, it's sweet, but at some point I think I'm going to get sick of it and I'll have to look for a different solution. So I think maybe the kind of collagen that you pop in a drink, like the powder, is something I'll give a go. Hannah Coleman said she bought a nice big bag of whey protein powder to keep her protein goals on track. Again, I think that's something I need to look at because it's really hard to get enough protein in, but I've never had a protein shake I like. So I have to start looking at, I think it was Clear, maybe they're called, and they have, like it turns into squash essentially, which I think I might be able to have a bit more, and also I can carry it in a bottle to work. And Dream Creative B did say you need to add some strength training. Oh my God, you are so right. Let's take this moment to appreciate that this magical drug helps with food noise, and that's it. It doesn't turn you into a willpower goddess. I set myself the goal of doing exercise over weeks 3 and 4, and you know what? I managed nothing. I think the combo of working all those extra shifts at work and being a lazy bum means that I entirely failed. I entirely failed on this. I did get at least 10,000 steps a day, so that's something, but it was not what I set out to do, and I'm quite annoyed at myself that I didn't manage it. So let's reset that intention and do it for weeks 5 and 6, and I will let you know how I get on. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to film a little bit of the exercise when I do it, just to prove that I wasn't talking nonsense and we did actually do it. I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you one more story of when I realized it was getting bad and I needed to lose weight. And actually, it was when we started to do the couch to 10K again. And I was fine, you know, I didn't love running in public. I still don't love running in public. I will never love running in public. But, you know, I managed to find a pair of leggings that I could dig out, a sports bra that almost fit, and I've got a couple of very big gym tops, so that was fine. But, you know, I was out, I was ready to go, gonna get healthier. And then we started our first gentle jog, and the front of my shins, like the bones, they absolutely screamed at me, "What are you doing? You can't be running on me, you're too big." And that was horrible. I'd never had that before. I've had my knee kick off because it doesn't like the impact. But I had that when I was like stones thinner than I am now. And that's one of the reasons I decided to go on Mounjaro to try and help me lose the weight, to get me to a point where I can use those more conventional methods, shall we say, more effectively, because it was just awful. Next time I will tell you about the day that I bought Mounjaro. In the UK, it comes in something they call a quick pen. This comes with a certain number of liquid in, and it's designed to dole out 4 doses. However, there looks like there's a whole extra dose left in the pen when it's spent. I mean, they say it's for priming the pen, you know, where you have to squeeze it and a bit comes out the top, but there's loads left. So people have been doing what they call the golden dose. This is getting that last bit of liquid and using it as your next weekly dose. I have decided to give it a go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be, and I'll try the next one. But come with me and we are going to see if we can get that last bit of liquid out of my pen. If you got this far into the video, thank you so much for being here. I would really, really appreciate it if you would like the video, hit the subscribe button and ding the bell, and then you'll be notified of the next time I do a Mounjaro update in about 2 weeks. Okay, welcome back to the bathroom. If you know me, you know I'm not super happy with needles, so I've got my Hans Zimmer music this time, something very epic and inspiring. We're going to give this whole golden dose thing a try. Apparently you can force the pen to give another dose. I'm a little bit worried about this. I don't want to smash the glass or anything. But it just feels like too much of a waste to not try and use that. And I can't do the thing with the sticky real needle in here and sticky real needle in me. Like, just, I don't even think I'd be able to get it in this pen without freaking out. So, here goes. So let me explain why I'm doing it. Partly it is a financial thing. Obviously, you paid for something. This is like almost a fifth left, so it feels like 30 quid's worth going to waste if I don't at least try. And you know what? They gave me an additional needle in my packet, so I might as well. I haven't wasted anything. And the other thing is we are going to New York tomorrow morning. So flying up to Glasgow tonight, and then we're flying on to New York tomorrow. And I am going up to the 5 dose, and I am really concerned that it's double the dose. I'm titrating up. I don't know how it's going to affect me. What I don't want is to like poop myself on the subway in New York, or be throwing up after one cocktail with my friends who I haven't seen for years. So let's give it a go. I'm waiting for this to become less scary, this whole needle thing. We have to prime it as normal, so 2 clicks down and then press and hold. Woo! I swear that gets more enthusiastic every time. This is the bit apparently that needs a bit of force. My grip strength of this is not great, so I bought my thing that I use to open jars and bottles to see if that will help. Get it. There we go. Oh, I think we've got it. Ugh, it feels mushy. Well, it didn't have any more satisfying clicks, but it looks like it's up. So let's give it a go. Why at this point do I become such a flippin' wimp? It's my 5th time. Come on, Rosie. Do you know what? I become so hyper aware as soon as I know that it's time to inject that even the little alcohol wipe feels like aggressive on my skin, and my knees are shaking really badly. Tell me this gets easier. Flippity flip, flip, flip. Ah! Okay. 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did it. I did it. So there you go. That's one very empty pen. I do feel a bit naughty, I'm not going to lie. But I paid for it, and they gave me an additional needle. And at least now I know I'll be okay in New York. Or at least I hope I'll be okay in New York. Who knows when these symptoms creep up on us, right? Okay, let's head back to the living room and we can talk through my monthly results. So that was successful, and I have saved myself 30 quid. So that's nice. It's that time you've all been waiting for or have scrolled forward to. It's the weigh-in. At the end of week 3, I weighed in at 165 pounds, which is 11 stone, 11 pounds, or 74.84 kilograms. So that was minus 3 pounds for week 3, which I was very happy about. I was a little concerned I wasn't eating enough, and so I determined that in week 4 I would up my calories, which I've done a bit. I also think I cheated a little as I had a haircut, and I must have had about 4 inches off the bottom, maybe 3 inches. Maybe that added up to a pound, I don't know. My weigh-in today was a day early because obviously we're going to New York tomorrow. I won't have our scales. And I've weighed in 163 pounds, 11 stone 9, or 73.9 kilograms. So that's 2 pounds down for week 4, which is a healthier level of weight loss, which I'm perfectly happy with. So that's all good. I also took my measurements today. I said I was going to do them monthly, just because I wanted to see enough of a change that I didn't get disheartened. So I took my measurements earlier. I'm mostly happy with them, although the lack of loss around my belly, I was a bit disappointed in. Partly because it is my problem area, it sticks out a mile. I've always had a pot belly, even when I was like a little size 6 or size 2 in the States. But I was really hoping to lose around there, because that is, like, if I'm losing everywhere else, but I still have a fat tummy, that makes buying clothes a nightmare. Which sounds like a really superficial thing, but it's a real thing. Like, buying jeans when you're short is hard enough. And if you can't do them up around your tummy, you end up with like saggy leg bits and saggy bum bits, which isn't attractive. So I'll pop the measurements up here and you can have a quick look. My biggest losses are around my bicep and my thigh, which in terms of weight loss is nice, but also that's another indicator that I need to start doing some strength training, because I don't want to just waste away. The loss of lean muscle mass is quite a big contributor to aging, and being in my late 30s, I really don't want to be prematurely aging myself. So I really need to get on the exercise train. So over just shy of 4 weeks, I have lost 16 pounds, or 7.25 kilograms. And I'm thrilled. I'm so happy that it's working, that it hasn't caused me a lot of grief, and that the promises I made to myself about how great it was going to be, they're pretty much coming true. I mean, you see people who in a month have dropped crazy amounts of weight. I am amazed at how I've done. This is the most I've ever lost in a month, even when I was doing intermittent fasting and eating around the same number of calories in a day anyway. So obviously it is increasing the power of what I'm doing. I remember in my first video, I said, oh, I can't really afford it. We're going to be on this for like a month, 2 months, 3 months max. I don't know. I guess I didn't know if it was going to work. I was still trying to kind of downplay it to myself maybe. But honestly, as long as I can afford it, I'm going to stick with it where I can. Speaking of the price of the pen, I joined Med Express for my next pen using my friend's referral code. I also have a referral code. We are not allowed to publicly share them. They are only for friends and family. If you want to be my friend, message me on Instagram, Mounjaro Miss. I'll put the link in the description as well. If you are thinking of starting your own weight loss journey using Mounjaro or Wegovy, and you are thinking of using MedExpress, do get in touch with me and I will share that code with you, and we're both quids in. Weeks 5 and 6, goals and what's happening. So as I said, tomorrow we fly to New York. Normally New York is a place where I have like food plans, but I am happy to roll with whatever everyone else wants to do. I know we're going to a very cool cocktail bar, not the cheapest cocktail bar, so a little self-restraint will have to be practiced there in a way I haven't been recently with alcohol. But yeah, food-wise, I'm not bothered what we do, that's fine. We would normally get a cheesecake, and they're giant, and I don't know if I can have a cheesecake, so maybe I will just have nibbles of Carl's. Having stuck on the 2.5 for this trip, I'm so happy that whole golden dose thing actually worked. I'm feeling a bit more confident about knowing what I can and can't have. And then next week, I think I only have 1 shift at work. So next week when I do take the 5, I will be at home. So if I do have any unwelcome side effects, I am in a place I can deal with them quite easily. So that's good. Week 6, we have a couple of people coming to stay with us over the week. So we've got some friends coming down from up north, and we'll just be out and about doing Londony things. And I think I will cook dinner, as they have some dietary requirements, so eating out is difficult anyway, so that's all good. And then my mother and father-in-law are coming to stay with us for a couple of days as well. And I mean, they tend to sort themselves out with food anyway. Or we go to Nando's. And as proved, I can go to Nando's and it's a good place to whack up that protein. If you have any questions or comments, bang it in the comments section below and I will reply to you. And if it's something that I think can help other people, we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks on here. Thank you again so much for watching. I know that I might not know you in real life. I mean, if I do, hi. But it does feel really cool to meet other people that are doing the same thing as me. I know there are people that are a couple of years ahead. There's someone who commented who's just about to start, and it's good. I've learned so much by watching other people's YouTube videos, and I hope that someone picks up something from mine that helps them, or hears a story that they recognize, or I don't know, just likes to fall asleep to my boring chatting. Whatever it is, I'm so happy that you're here. I'll see you again in 2 weeks. I'll let you know how my travels went, and I will tell you about the next lot that are coming up very soon. Bye.
I see a light, and we can